Pretty extensive list on this S2000. This might end up being a long video, I don't know. If you don't have the time to watch it, now will be the time to kind of skip to the end and just see how the car looks. Ohlins, of course, the hard race bushings. This is the package that we did to my car. Made a huge difference. Car feels like $1 million. Also, this is one of those things that really bothers him. And Esther managed to find the handle color matched from Honda, so that will be a bolt in, because right now this is an absolute pain to get in and out of the car. Just getting in the car to move it is a major pain. Well, we will go through and fix some of these little issues like this kind of stuff. It's just those type of things that would just annoy you. Taking the suspension apart to do the bushings, and the outer tie rods are in really bad shape, so I've got a pair of those on order. Ball joints are good. Door handles in, look at that. Perfectly color matched from Honda. This is the steering wheel, which is pretty typical of a car this age, 05 with over 100, and of course sun damage. Florida is really hard on leather, by the way. This is the beautiful wheel we just had done. Look at this. This is the premium leather, red stitched. This is the same one I have on my car. This is beautiful. This is one of those things that just makes the car feel special every time you get in it. Not just the smell of it when you touch it. There's something about all the touch surfaces just feeling new and tight. There's one upper control arm done. These bushings, by the way, make such the difference. And I've found there is no negative to them. I've got them in my car. I drove it for about 150 miles the other night, just driving around. This is something on S2000 that we don't typically see back. This is just nice and tight, which is awesome. But the bushings just get a little bit fatigued. Factory shock, it doesn't have any real signs of being blown out. Or does it? No, it's not too bad. You usually see these if they're wet, if it just looks like oil is leaking out of it, the shock itself is blown out. But the ones we're putting on are a million times better. These are just sweet looking suspension right here. This is funny because they always give you in a million pieces and they give you a book how to put it together. I always like to lay it out and just kind of do an inventory. They're really good about packaging their stuff. I've never had one missing anything yet, but it's always best just to see it for yourself and just kind of count it, you know, like all this, everything is in order. All right, ready to install. This is the transmission side. You see it's leaking right there. That's one of the reasons we recommend you do the install kit. That way you get that seal, you get the main seal, and of course the boot, the slide, and the grease. And this is the clutch disc with a brand spanking new flywheel. Look at that. It's not brand new, it's a resurfaced flywheel, but you see why it's machined on those two surfaces, so it maintains the factory step. Look at that, that's done a lot of chattering, a lot of burning. So this is getting obviously replaced. We're doing the install kit and the shifter rebuild. This is the shifter rebuild parts right here. This is the boot, just showing you some of the stuff we got laid out. So the compliance bushing is usually the tough one to deal with. Let me show you. I did sit there and PB blast it off and on for the last few hours. You see how dry that is? But I did manage to get a bit of PB blaster down the bolt and break loose. So keep in mind, if we do your bushings, when we put everything back together, we anti-seize everything, so you won't have that issue again. Yes, that is a power wire. We showed this on our last episode. We are going to address that. This microwave is 32 years old this year, and it's still working like a champ. But make sure you heat up that ball when you do a shift rebuild. Just looking at some of these bushings, this is what I've explained. You see how this is just kind of compressed. The middle is towards the bottom and not the top. That's just from the weight on that all these years. And you see it's kind of deformed in there. This is the replacement bushing. And then this is the compliance bushing. You see it's tore, pretty much tore all the way around. And this is the replacement for it. So this one is sealed all the way around. It doesn't have the air relief gap, so it's going to be quite a bit stiffer than this one. I can't tell you enough about rebuilding the shifter. Not only does it give it a more positive feel, less wiggle, and I mean with our high attention spring, it makes a noticeable difference. Replacing the foam too, this is obviously falls apart, and it's surprising what this does. It helps keep the noise out around the transmission from entering the cabin. S2000s are not the quietest vehicle, so anything you can do to improve that sound is always a good thing. And then the other thing that makes a difference too is the new boot and clip. Over time, that boot gets worn, or it tends to sit one way like that, so the shifter feels easier one way and stiffer the other, even if it's only a small amount. This actually increases that overall feel. It gives it a more solid feel because this rubber is newer and stiffer. I feel like I show you guys a lot, but in case you missed some of these videos, once you do your arms, whether they're the new arms, old arms, new bushings, this is your alignment bolt for the compliance bushing. It goes through here. Honda don't grease this for some reason. They just coat it with the zinc coating, and you see the corrosion that builds up. Sorry if it's noisy, we've got the big fan going, it's getting kind of hot. If this is in good shape, it comes out, go ahead and wire brush this, make it really nice, and then coat it in anti-seize. That will stop this corroding in here. As you turn this, you see this cam right here, this sits in a little cage, and as you turn it, this is what pushes this arm and moves it for the alignment. Very important for your alignment guy, and if you ever service the car, this has to come out. So there's your PSA. All right, so we've verified this right here is not the trailer harness, it's the power wire. If you remember this car from back, apparently I made fun of it because he said you made this power wire famous. So that I want to show you. It's a little sketchy and definitely a little dangerous, so we're going to show you that. So to give you the whole feeling of it, let's start where you can see it first. So it comes from there, which is obviously the battery, wraps around there, is lubricated by a little bit of an oil leak, wraps around there, which has a nice sharp edge, but then it does loop through here for safety so it doesn't rub the header. It hangs adequately low, as you see, a hand's worth, so it's not going to touch the header, but then it does go in this hole and then comes right out back into the next hole, and it loops out of that hole through there, which isn't a sharp edge, it's plastic, that's safe, and then it disappears above.
See it again?
Yeah, so it comes by another sharp edge, lays on top of the muffler. What's the joint that you talked about?
You did say heat shield though, so.
Yeah, it's got a heat shield.
It's not just on top of the muffler.
No, it's safe.
And then right there where the electrical tape is,
yeah,
it actually changes to a different gauge, a smaller wire.
I see that.
And then it goes through the grommet in the back of the car where your license plate light goes.
These are the back arms, all new bushings in there. Look at those things. Beautiful. There's the rear uppers. This is the last set to do. Successful press. There's the new ones. Look at that, they're just like the old ones.
Yeah, pretty similar. These just look a little nicer.
Yeah. This is the join right here. This went to the amplifier at the back of the car.
I mean, actually, let's see what they did.
That's amazing.
Oh,
It's a butt connector. It's safe.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so we go from a little skinny wire to a slightly thicker wire.
8 gauge.
This is why you should, if you can't do it yourself, pay somebody that does this. See? That's safe. Yeah, well, it's crimped. Yeah, and it's one of those like really cheesy crimpers that just kind of make it flat.
Yeah.
If you can't do this yourself, pay somebody to do it. Pay a professional, pay someone that has the right tools, the right wire, actually knows how to do it, because look at this.
I mean, you never know, a quote-unquote professional could have done this.
You know the definition of a professional?
They got paid to do it.
Exactly. So if you pay a complete idiot to do something, you
Your
pay
buddy come by and do it.
You pay a professional. Where will you see it attached to the battery? I'm not making... So the customer is actually kind of funny with it, so I'm not making fun of him because he had it done.
He did call us this was the star of one of our videos.
One of the videos, we made such a point about this, he called it the star of the video. Ohlins are on, bushings are on, new tie rod ends. It really could use a brake job in the future. I mean, they're not completely destroyed, but there is a step on here. I don't really want to call him and tell him, hey, while it's here, because he's probably looking at his checkbook and saying, okay, I think I'm done for right now.
Yeah.
You see where it's got the staining right here? It just means it's sat in that position and the water is, see, it's like the shape of a pad. It's not the end of the world. And like you'll say, I feel bad saying, hey, so we're just going to leave that. It might be coming and doing some more other things in the future, but we're addressing this wire first. This is the fine, high quality connector going into the fuse, which is a 15 amp fuse. Then it goes into this, then it steps down to this like we showed you. Turns out it's not an amplifier wire. It feeds a box in the back of the car for trailer lights. When was the last time you guys saw an S2000 with trailer lights? I want to say it today. There is a trailer receiver right there. And it goes into that box right there. So it doesn't need a whacking great power. It needs essentially just power to supply. We're not going to pull the power from here, even though it's got a trigger right here. Actually, this is the ground. We're going to bring a power wire from the fuse box. It's only going to take a small amount of juice, especially out of 15 amp fuse. It don't need that trailer wire. So that's what we're going to do. Run it inside the car, run it correctly, run it to a fuse, and then we'll feel good about that bit. This could be one of the worst sounds ever. In fact, the mic probably doesn't pick up while we're doing the sonic cleaning. I ordered this pump in plenty of time, and for some reason they didn't ship it right away. It kind of sat there, and then they did ship it, and now the tracking number says it's going to be delayed. It's 4th of July tomorrow, so nothing goes tomorrow. So that means it doesn't come well Monday. The sucky thing is, this car has to leave. It doesn't have to leave. I want it to leave today or tomorrow at the latest. That's the last thing to do. And next week I leave for England, and we have a few jobs already, and I don't want to leave this job to roll into next week because George is going to be on his own. And as much as I appreciate him working, I don't want to overload him.
Turn left, then the destination is on your right.
Traffic is absolutely insane. I'm a little over an hour and a half, and I just now hit the Howard Franklin Bridge. This is supposed to be much faster because they built another bridge next to this to relieve the traffic. But look at the volume right here. All right, we're back. That's the carcass that's come out of this car. I'll show you through it here in a minute. Now we can install it.
Got any junkyard numbers on it?
It does. I'll let you take care of that. It's the official junkyard number.
Not anymore.
Gone. That's where this goes, if you didn't know. If you've ever dealt with our masses on the brace, 04 and 05 have the lines the closest, but after installing hundreds and seeing these, all the lines are in a slightly different spot, because as you see, they don't lay exactly where they would go. They're all flexy and they're all in detention, so if you have to bend these, no big deal. This is the injector clips, believe it or not. Look at it, it's literally like dust. That stuff was so brittle when George unplugged them, they just fell apart, and he just crushed these. I mean, look at this, it's like walnut shells, it's so bad. So that got a new set of injector clips. Did a loose valve adjustment so it could help seal the valves. Basically, it's an old school technique to help the valves slam closed and help seat themselves. And so far it's worked 2 out of 2 times on 2 cars. This one was one of the worst. And after doing the fuel injector cleaning, this one really sounds nice. New ABS unit is in, it's fully bled out. We're gonna let the coolant system bleed out and then check the ABS, and then hopefully we can cycle the ABS unit and make sure we're not getting any more issues. But the ABS just didn't work on this car at all, and it had an ABS code. This one sounds so nice. So smooth. All right, let's get the wheels on and test it. We're going to align the steering wheel, make sure it's good, then put the airbag in, reset the codes, and we should be good. All right, this one is done, and we're done on time. Today is July 4th. He is picking it up today. We hit the deadline. We stayed on time. I came in. We're going to do a little bit of video editing today, and of course deliver this car and a few other things. We might also have a surprise for George and Esther here, but there we go. That is dropped 3/4 of an inch. That's my favorite amount of lowering right there. It's not aggressive. It's still got full function. I've had my car set at this height for about a year and a half, actually 2 years now, and it's been terrific. No adverse effects. All the things on his list are done. This thing looks fantastic. Shifter rebuild, new steering wheel, new door handle. He hasn't had one of those in such a long time. This is gonna be like a luxury. New shift boot, rebuilt shifter, all new bushings, Ohlins tie rod ends, new clutch, and a host of other mounts. There it is. Guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget, give me a thumbs up, share, hit the like, subscribe, and more importantly, enjoy your cars.
When it's in manual, the thing lights up too. Like for shifting.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Never paid attention to that.
So if you watch the center,
That's pretty neat.
there's a green ring, yellow ring, and there's probably a red one after that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I've never paid attention to that before. That's kind of neat. That's actually good timing. We're just in time to go watch our movie.
Yeah.